Coming up on today's show, we've got loaded, wild, crazy rumors to get to. First, with a bold ESPN prediction that I'll reveal in just a little minute. Sign Geno Smith. Should Geno head to Tennessee, leave Seattle, and take Ryan Tannehill's place? And Orlando Brown, could he be the saving grace for the O-line? We're going to talk about all of it today on Titans Today. But before we do, make sure you hit the sub button. Like I said, these rumors are starting to get pretty hot, pretty heated up, wild. We're going to keep you updated on all of it. We want to grow this channel and keep everybody in the loop on everything that's going on with the Titans. So make sure you hit that sub button so we can grow, get bigger, and have a bigger Titans family. First things first, trade Derrick Henry? What? Well, ESPN's Jeff Darlington thinks the Titans should consider trading the King to the Bills. Why? Well, I mean, his stats speak for themselves, but the Bills struggled a little bit on offense, especially because they rely on Josh Allen so much. They could benefit from having a running back, and this is the guy to grab if you can get him. I mean, you look at his stats from the past 4 years, he's consistently producing. In 2020, over 2,000 yards. This is insane production from a guy who single-handedly pretty much held up this offense in the second half of the season. We did talk about his fumbling issue. He is working on it. He started to kind of lose control of the ball and being able to protect it towards the end of the season, but he is working on that. It doesn't take away from the production and what he's done for this offense. And honestly, I don't think that's the smart thing to do. But if we want to just entertain the idea, let's look at why this might happen. He's due to hit the cap $16 million this year. He's expensive. He's approaching 30 years old as a running back in the NFL. You know, we've talked about his shelf life and like, is it running out? You need to keep him around and use him while you've got him. He's getting up there, and he absolutely is 100% still worth a lot of draft capital, and the Titans could use that. So if you want to play devil's advocate and say, hey, maybe we should entertain the thought of trading away Derrick Henry, there are some reasons right there. Expensive, getting older, and he's worth a trade somewhere, obviously. My personal opinion is this is a mistake. You would think that they would learn from the mistake they made with A.J. Brown. Just, you don't try to fix something that isn't broken. He single-handedly held up this offense in the second half of the season. This is not a guy you trade away in hopes of getting some draft capital to fix the other holes on the roster, because when you trade Derrick Henry away, you've now created another hole. So I am not on board with this one. If you can figure out why Jeff Darlington was, then let me know, but I don't think it's worth it. I want to know what you guys think, though. Should the Titans trade Derrick Henry? Be honest. Type T for trade, type P for pass. It's okay to disagree with me. I'd love to hear you guys out. All right. Geno Smith. This is a guy who's becoming a free agent in the offseason. Could he end up in Tennessee? Well, we're going to talk about it. But before we do, let me tell you about today's sponsor. Titans Today by Chat Sports is sponsored by Athletic Greens. I take AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every day. Get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better gut health and wanted a supplement that actually tastes great. I take AG1 in the morning, and it makes me feel ready to take on my day. I'm not a morning person by any means, but AG1 has made getting out of bed easier. I take it first thing in the morning before I work out or head into the office, and it really helps me maintain my energy throughout the day. Not only that, but AG1 is great for recovery. Since taking it, I've noticed I'm more locked into and excited for my daily workouts, and I feel great even after them. Covering my nutritional bases for the day literally couldn't be easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with water and drink it first thing each morning. Done. I also like that it costs less than $3 a day. Pretty good if you ask me. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients, which is a win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check it out. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Let's talk about Geno Smith. There's word on the street that maybe Seattle doesn't want to pay up. They don't want to keep him around, which I don't really understand because he had a great season, comeback player of the year. I mean, come on. But if Seattle does let him walk, is he somebody that the Titans should look into? Well, I don't think that's a bad idea. He had the highest completion percentage in the league this year with 69.8, over 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and yes, 11 interceptions. A slew of them came at the end of the season, but I mean, those stats are pretty solid for a guy who hadn't really started since, I believe, 2014. Let's look at why maybe the Titans should just consider it. He earned comeback player of the year and a Pro Bowl recognition in his first season as a starter since 2014. He led the NFL in completion percentage and threw 30 touchdowns. And he led Seattle to a 9-8 record and a playoff berth. They didn't make it in 2021. They made it in 2020. But again, this is somebody that was kind of written off and slept on, and he absolutely proved that he is more than capable of leading a team to the postseason. They had a better record than the Titans. They had some great games. He was slept on all season, but if you compare him to Ryan Tannehill, it's very clear that there's a difference. And granted, we've got 17 games played versus 12, and that does make a big difference, but I think you look at the type of leadership that Geno Smith was able to give the Seahawks this season after losing Russell Wilson. He came in and he did his job. Over 4,000 yards. That is incredible to me for a quarterback coming in starting for the first time since 2014. Insane. And the stats here, they're very not balanced here. I mean, you talk about Ryan Tannehill. He's not bad. He's a game manager. He can do some good things, but he has proven time and time again that he cannot take this team as far as they want to go. Geno Smith, I think, could. I think Seattle would be it would be a bad decision for Seattle to let him walk. I think he's done a lot for that team. Pete Carroll likes to run the ball, especially with Kenneth Walker, yet he trusted Geno Smith to pass heavily, and he did. And they relied on the passing game pretty much almost as much as the running game when they had all those injuries. So I think Geno Smith is somebody that if Seattle allows him to walk, Tennessee should look into taking him and putting him on the roster, because you hear the talks about this is a lateral move, he's the same as Ryan Tannehill. I don't think that. I think you watch this guy prove himself this past season that not only can he put the numbers on the board, but he can lead a team to the postseason. So, I think Seattle gets a deal done, but if they don't, I think Tennessee should look into getting Geno Smith over in Nashville. What do you guys think? Should the Titans sign Geno Smith if Seattle does not get a deal done, and they are looking like they will, but if they don't, type S for yes, they should sign him. Type D for don't. They should not sign him. And finally, we got to talk about the O-line because it's not going anywhere. It's not going to fix itself. Who could come in and fix it? Well, Orlando Brown could absolutely be the Band-Aid for this issue here. He is the left tackle position is going to be the hardest, the biggest need for this team. And we look at the depth chart and we can see here that nobody currently on this depth chart is going to be able to do it. Taylor Lewan is all but cut at this point. He knows it. And Dennis Daly tried to come in when Taylor Lewan got hurt, and he was just, awful. He could not get it done. I don't think he can be the starter for this team coming up. I think you've got to look outside of the organization for somebody to come in. Nobody on the current roster is going to do it. You've got to pull somebody. So, yeah, you could draft. You absolutely could draft. You've got some great options in the draft, but you're leaving your chances up to fate there with the teams who go before you and who they're going to draft. So why don't we take a look at somebody in free agency that could come in and fix the problem? Orlando Brown, overall PFF grade 75.8, 77.2 in pass blocking, 69.1 in run blocking, 4 sacks on the year. He is one of the best offensive tackles in the NFL, and he will definitely be the best in the free agent market. I think he is absolutely worth looking at. This is another guy that could get franchise tagged. The Chiefs may stick with him, keep him around. If they don't, however, the Titans really should look at this guy to come in. They just won a Super Bowl. He's got the presence. He's got the veteran experience. He's clearly shown that he can do the job. I think you put somebody like that up front and kind of fill in around him, and you'll see a completely different O-line. I like Orlando Brown. It's just a matter of whether the Chiefs allow him to walk or not. If they do, should the Titans sign him? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I want to know what you guys think. Make sure you hit that sub button. We love chopping it up. I know you guys like the mailbag. I like giving you content that you want to watch. So make sure you hit the sub button. Keep up with this. I'll keep you updated all throughout the Titans offseason.